have to keep reshooting this video. It's been annoying. Been having glitches and also wardrobe malfunctions yesterday. So, which is not appropriate for YouTube. So, you know, I just had to delete the videos. Try to do it again. And technical difficulties with the phone. Happens. Anyways, let's get into the video. Now this is a 1978 Dodge Monaco. It is a one owner from new, or one registered owner anyways, from new. It has 76,000 original kilometers on it. That is not rolled over, which is amazing. And this thing is actually in pretty good shape. It does have a bit of rust on the body, but it's really not that bad. The one rocker's toast on it, but other than that, so you patch both rear fenders, you patch the rocker, you fix the brakes, you have a nice running driving car. So yeah, but just a few days ago, actually this was on the weekend, this would have been Saturday? I want to say this was Saturday. Me and Greg were getting this thing up and going again. And the thing is, what's really cool, we were able to actually get it going with just a simple thing of, well, some fresh gas, obviously, a battery, and a coil, which we stole out of an international pickup truck that's over there. Really cool truck. I'll do a video on that in the future, but for now, we're focusing on this Monaco. And as well, I will do videos on the two Buicks here in the near future. So yeah, this thing is just in really great shape and absolutely gorgeous. And actually, I am going to show you guys. It's got a little trick to it. So this car is a 318 LA block, because they didn't come out with the Magnum block 318s yet. That wasn't until 92. 91 or 92, pretty sure it's 92. But this has the electronic spark control system with a lean burn carb, which the lean burn carb is gone now. But, well, it's actually in the trunk, which is cool. And this thing is a very, very honest, original type of car. Because again, it's got no miles on it, and it was a one owner, and it was taken care of, you can tell. There was stuff that just kind of let go, and I think that was more because it was sitting. I mean, the seats inside, which we'll take a look at here in a moment, just means that it got a lot of use. And, you know, like long road trips and stuff like that, people moving around, or just getting in and out of it constantly. But yeah, so if we take a look here, this is really cool. This is the original battery surround for it, which these are always gone. And people will just go to because also your washer fluid is combined with this. So, but this is always missing, which is pretty cool. I haven't physically seen one of these. Was really amazing. And even that is the original preheater hose. Now, of course, it's in disarray, but you can tell where it was hooked up to the manifold there. And what that does is gets hot air from the manifold and straight up into the carb so that it warms up quicker. That's just a thing that they did back in the day. You know, which is very, very, very cool. My car has the same thing, except for my preheater hose fell off, and I don't know where it went. So, whatever. I spent like $30 on it, and it fell off. It kept falling off constantly. So, and this one stayed on for, hell, this thing is a 1978 car, and it's 2020. So, you know, been on there for a long time. But yeah, as we can see, you know, belts have been replaced, although they need to be replaced again, to be honest, because these are not the original belts on it. I do know that. However, it does run. It runs great. If I threw a battery in this thing, I could fire it up right now, but I'm not going to do that because, well, if you guys wanted to see the full silent walk around with this thing running, there is a video of that on the channel. So yeah, just a very, very, very cool car. And I'm pretty sure this has the 904, not the 727, but I could be wrong. I'd have to crawl underneath and take a look. But yeah, it's just I am tempted to drive it, like put a battery in it and drive it over, and just jack it up really quick and take a look at the tranny pan. But I'm not gonna do that, not today. But also something else. Check this out. Still has the original stickers on it. You know, saying like what your idle should be set to, what your timing should be set to. The original vacuum diagram. You've got the original Mopar sticker here. And you've got like a coolant level reservoir thing. Super, super cool. Which, and then that's this thing, which that is the, I believe, the original. Yeah, that's original too. Very, very cool. But anyways, I'm going to really quick just fix my stand here, so this is just a little easier to walk around the car and show you guys. Just make it a bunch shorter. I'm gonna do that one too. Bear with me one moment, guys. I'm sorry. This is not a super, super quick process, but I promise it'll be done relatively quick. Okay, there we go. Alright, so if we walk around this thing, you can see that, you know, it does have a little bit of body damage and a little bit of scratches here and there, and some rust, but it's really not that bad. The worst bit of rust is, on this back fender here, and you'll see it here in a moment. Very, very cool. Very clean, honest car. There's nothing really hiding on this. So you can see a little bit there. That's not so bad. But this is where it gets worse, right? So you'd have to patch that fender because you're not gonna find a fender. And I mean, and why would you replace the entire fender on this thing? It's just one little patch, not the end of the world. You know, it's got these awesome. I loved Dodge styling, or I love Dodge styling / Chrysler styling in the 70s. Just like, look at this back end. Okay, here, let's go back a little bit. There we go. Take a look at that. Like, that's just an awesome looking car with these small little bumperettes, because that was needed for safety. But something really cool is this thing's party trick as well while I'm back here. The gas door is right there, and it's actually a locking gas cap on this. Like, how cool is that? Just a hidden kind of gas cap or gas filler. So yeah, no, it's got really nice patina. Unfortunately, this lens is cracked in a couple spots. It's just plastic though, so you could get those 3D printed, probably. You know, and it still has, yeah, because this was a, these are always gone and damaged, and it's still here. I mean, it needs the, I think the stud snapped on that one, so that's why it's hanging out like that. But other than that, you know, it's got a little bit of rust there along this fender, and just, you know, needs to just be patched a bit. And like I said, this rocker is toast. But also, check out the patina on that hood. Very, very cool. And we see inside this robin egg blue interior, which is just gorgeous, and it's held up pretty well, actually. I mean, the seat, as you can see, is quite ripped up and whatever else, you know, but the door panels are all still in good shape. You know, back seats, of course, are ripped as well, which is so unfortunate. And the foam probably needs to be replaced as well, but not a big deal. And like in this steering wheel, just from sitting out in the sun, has cracked quite a bit, which that wasn't uncommon for the plastic to do that, because that's just plastic on the outside. But if we take a look inside, there's some very familiar stuff in here for me, because my dad owned an 81 D150, and some of the stuff is actually the same. Okay, it's got the rear defrost, which actually would have been an option on this, and it's pretty cool. And it's like heater vent type style, except for it would have been in the middle of the truck. But they kept this very similar style well through the 80s on the trucks, and probably some of their passenger cars as well. Very, very cool seeing that. And and you can see right there the 76,560 kilometers. That is not rolled over. That is accurate. Unfortunately, I don't have documentation on that, but I promise that's the case. And and there's the automatic stuff. It's got a tilt column on it. Signal lights all work. The stereo does not work, but that's not uncommon. My stereo on my Mustang doesn't even work. And it's also missing the rear view mirror, but you could just glue a new one on. Not a big deal. And yeah, it's got the vents, which is really cool. Your headlights down there, like your high beam switch. It's very, very cool, because I think the oh no, sorry. That's your headlights switch, and this is your high beam switch up there. So yeah, very, very cool. It's got some things in it, like some fuses and stuff, and that's the original manuals and stuff. And again, it's just too bad that dash pad's cracked, because you'll never find that dash pad. There's no way. You'd have to get it made, because I don't think they reproduced that. But anyways, okay, I'm going to extend the stand out again. Just bear with me one moment. Okay. And also, something else really cool, well, I'm right here. Still has all the stuff on the door. There's just one sticker that's gone and one that's really faded, but everything else is here. And look at the condition of this VIN tag on the door. You don't see them quite like that in most cars that you find. So just goes to show you how well this car was taken care of when it was actually on the road. So yeah, anyways, if we take a look inside, and sorry, it's hot. So you'll have to excuse me if I don't look the best, but it's neither here nor there. Like it's 28 degrees Celsius here, which is really hot for around here. So yeah, so if we take a look here, these are really cool, because this is the original anti-corrosion warranty. And it was, the owner was Myrtle Khalid, and she bought this new in Swift Current, Saskatchewan back in 1978, July 6th, 1978 to be exact. Very, very cool. And as well, we have the actual warranty card still here too. Very cool, and there's like no damage to these whatsoever. So, I am being quite delicate with them. But if we take a look as well with this is the big one. This is the original bill of sale from July 6th, 1978. Bear in mind, in Canada, we do not use titles for cars. We have just bills. You just sell a car with a bill of sale. There's no such thing as a title here in Canada, unless if it's an American car. But yeah, and she bought this new in 1978. The list price, sorry, the list price was $7,800. But then she got, I think it was $800 on a trade-in, so she only ended up paying $7,000 for this. But yeah, and like she traded in a 1967 Pontiac 4-door in blue. So I'm assuming blue was her favorite color, because this thing is blue. It was blue from the factory. It's just faded to kind of this gray now. Pretty silvery, but okay, and actually it's something interesting, and I just noticed this now. It just says, Ham Motors to fix small dent on left front fender. This is a brand new car, but I'm assuming maybe somebody took it out for a test drive and it got dented, or somebody in the parking lot dented these cars. It wasn't uncommon to happen. You just pound out the dent. No big deal. But anyways, so yeah, she traded in a 67 Pontiac blue 4-door V8 with 80,000 miles on it. And now, this was probably a Parisienne, which you Americans might not know what that is. But a Parisienne is basically a Canadian version of the Catalina. Because again, it was only sold in Canada. Like, Canada had a few models that were only for Canada, that from GM especially. Like, for example, we had the Pontiac, we had the Beaumont, which was a Chevelle. We had an Acadian, which was a Nova. And we had the Parisienne, you know, which was the Catalina. So, very, very cool. You know, she got the new warranty, like her signature, the salesman's signature is all here. Very, very cool. And yeah, this is stuff that you just don't see. Finding the original bill of sale with the car from 1978. I've never found one, have you? It'd be really, really cool if you have. Don't get me wrong. I've never had the opportunity. Like, and don't get me wrong, I haven't got to play with old cars like this, like I am now. But if we take the keys here and just listen to how good this door closes. Like, no issues. I mean, it was creaking, obviously, but that's old car stuff, right? But if we take a look back at the trunk, whew, it's hot out here. I'm not wearing the proper attire for this. But a dress is so much nicer than wearing shorts and a tank top. There we go. So we take a look in here. We will see how big this trunk lid, or how big this trunk is. Because you can see, very, very deep. The spare tire hardly covers up anything. And what's really cool, that's the original spare that's still on the knobbies. Very, very cool. That's something that you just don't see. As well, we got a bunch of spare parts over here, which these are parts that were taken off the car, clearly. Because that, I'm assuming, is the original, this is probably a Carter 2-barrel carburetor that was taken off this car, and that would have been the lean burn system. Not amazing carbs. I mean, they did the job, but they weren't that great, although it's still got the plate, which is nice. You know, so you got, if you really wanted to put this thing back to original, you could. But honestly, the 4-barrel just makes more sense than the 2-barrel does. Gives you better performance, will give you better fuel efficiency, all that different stuff, right? There's just a bunch of spare stuff, like there's some brake pads and whatever else back here too. So, some vacuum lines and some bulbs and stuff. Very, very cool. Very, very honest. Like, you can see the original corrosion stuff. Undercoating, that's what it's called. On the car. Very, very cool. It's kind of wore off on this side. But, again, super cool, super awesome. I would honestly own this thing. And now me and Greg were talking, you know, just saying what we would kind of do to this thing. And we both had the same idea, actually. Is because this vinyl top, as you can see, is peeling, which is unfortunate. But to get the kind of similar look, but without potentially destroying the metal underneath, because, you know, if moisture gets in there, it gets caught, it starts to rust the roof out, and that's very common with vinyl top cars. This one, I don't believe there's any rust on this roof, which is nice. What we were both thinking is, hang on, let's put you down, and let's come over here. So yeah, what we were both thinking is actually doing this, trying to match this similar color as a bed liner. And that way, you kind of get a similar look. It won't be as smooth, but mind you, you can sand it to be a little smoother. And not that vinyl tops were like super smooth anyways, but you know, they didn't have sharp corners or anything. Kind of like what bed liner would. And it would be a cleaner look. So, spray this with bed liner that kind of matches this this blue. Or would have been the original color of the blue back in the day. And that way, you've got rust proofing on your roof, and you still retain that original style look. What's better than that? So, yeah, here, I'm actually going to go back to the front of the car, and I'm going to drink some water here just in a moment. So yeah, here we go. So, that concludes, or is going to conclude, this video. But, you know, I hope you did enjoy this. Actually, hang on, I need to take a drink of water here. It's warm water, but whatever. There we go. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. This is a car, honestly, if I had the room and the money, I'd own this in a heartbeat. Such good shape. You never find anything quite like this anymore. Because they've all been snatched up by collectors and whatnot. And, you know, because it is for sale currently. Brakes don't work. Like, you've got the e-brake, and the pedal is absolutely dead for the brake pedal, so probably brake booster, would be my guess. There's also a vacuum link with the brakes, so that will have something to do with it too. So replace the vacuum lines, and which somebody, I'm assuming, was doing that, and that's why all those vacuum lines are in the trunk, because somebody was just trying to fix the vacuum, and it didn't happen. But yeah, so anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll have more coming in the future. The 2 Buicks will be the next video. I'll probably shoot that tomorrow. I wanted to shoot that today, but it's just it's not gonna happen. And yeah, that'll be a double feature video, because, well, the 53 will be a little quicker just due to the fact that the condition of the interior, I'm not sitting in it, there's nothing inside to my knowledge, so I need to look for sure. But anyways, yeah, hope you enjoyed. Hope you're staying safe during COVID-19, and good luck with whatever you're working on. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Okay, bye. Pikachu. Sneezes.